Grüße aus Leinfelden Echterdingen.
This is greetings from where I am, Leinfelden, Ester, es, Esterdingen. I'm so sorry, Germany. I'm gonna really, really mess up your stuff. Not like bad. Well, yeah, because I was just thinking before I started it. Basically, hello, and I am in. Technically, I am outside of Stuttgart. I'm in that Lingen place, but we're at a hotel that's nearest toward the Stuttgart airport. So, yeah. So my German is terrible. It's offensively bad, and I really, as much as I'm like, I probably should, try to make a effort to speak the language. I am embarrassed to try to speak the language, and I'll tell you a story. So, like, and this is the story I was thinking before I started doing this. Way back in the day, like when I was about 17, 16, 17 or so, 15, 16, 17. I was a young teenager. I'm old. So, way back before we have the internet as it's known in its current incarnation, where you have either social media or, like, I don't even know what the fuck people be using, but, like, before social media, they had something, how you got on the internet was via either AOL or, we didn't have America Online. We had CompuServe. Um, I am so fucking old. And I met some guy from Austria on CompuServe, who that guy was like my first love. And I don't mean like teenage puppy love bullshit. I meant like I was in love with this dude. So, and he came to the United States to visit me, and we hung out for like an entire summer. And he was real nice. So when we left, I was like, it's a dream of mine to go to Austria. Even before I knew he existed, it was a dream of mine to go to Austria. And he bought me for Christmas one year. He bought me a tape to learn, to learn how to speak German. And to my credit, I use those tapes. I listen to them every night because how I like to learn languages. If I'm not going to be fully immersed in them like I was with Japanese, where I went, as they would say, balls deep into Japanese, where I like listen to Japanese music. I listen to watch anime in full Japanese. If you're not gonna do something like that, like one of the weirdest ways to learn a language or learn anything is to listen to it while you're sleeping. It's like subliminally while you're sleeping, this stuff seeps into your brain, and then it like, I'm not going to say infects your brain, but it gets stuck in your head when you learn stuff at night. And at night, I would listen to those tapes while I slept, and I was getting pretty good. There was like it was like an 8 tape series, and in like 3 years, I was on, because I wanted to learn it slowly. So in 8 years, I had those tapes, because this is like the mid '90s to like the early-ish 2000s. I would listen to them every night, and I think I got through every last tape, but I didn't stick with it, so I don't remember any of it. So when I was telling him I was using the tapes and was learning German off of them, he was like, "Oh, that's really good, because that's what I got them for you for." And he's like, hit me with some German. So I hit him with something that I had remembered learning. He was like, "That's real good. You just kind of sound like you have a Russian accent." And I was just like, what? Like, it wasn't even like an American accent. He was like, "You sound like you have a Russian accent when you speak German." And I was just like, I don't know how the hell that worked out, but I guess that's like a thing. Where's my water? I am dying of thirst. I did not drink like that on the plane, and my body is all jacked up for it. But hold up. So yeah, he was like, "You sound like you have a Russian accent when you speak German." Pardon me. That left me in a precarious place though, because I have thought about what he said about that, and coupled with the fact that I never kept up with my German, which in hindsight, going back to the whole opera thing, I'm like, well, fuck me, I should have stuck with it. But now I'm in the country of Germany, and I am embarrassed to speak German, to even attempt to speak German to people. And like again, as I said before we left, I was like, I don't really know, like, in Japanese, I know enough Japanese. Literally, I know enough Japanese to weasel around their society. And as a bonus factor, I have, when, instead of sounding like I have some kind of weird, funky accent when I speak Japanese, I've had Japanese people tell me my pronunciation of words is really good. It's native level, like, really fucking good. I don't say arigato gozaimasu. I'm always like arigato gozaimasu. And when I say something, I'm about to say something in German. Oh my fucking god. Wakarimasen. And I'll tell you what I was about to say in German. Ich verstehe, which is I understand. Which that's going to be a factor in a second. I'll swing to that story in a second. But arigato gozaimasu. And watashi wa Meisi Adrian desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Like, I've had Japanese people tell me, like, my pronunciation is really, really damn good for an American. So I'm like, thank you, because what do we always say? What do I always say, children? I don't want to be the dumbass American. So, and having been told that my German sounds like I have a Russian accent, which confuses the pants off me, would probably confuse a lot of people. Be like, okay. So I'm reluctant to speak German to people, and I'm probably gonna have to start at least getting comfortable with asking, because I don't feel right making the assumption that people speak English. And again, what do I always say? When you go to somebody else's country, it's like going to somebody else's house. You treat their house better than you would like than you would treat your own house. So I might have to start asking people and just being like, sprechen Sie English, because my German is bad. It's so bad, and I really don't, like I said, my husband's like, why are you being so, like, timid? It's like, because I'm in another country, and I don't want to go to somebody else's country being the dumbass American, all loud and rowdy, and like, just whatever. So, I mean, loud and rowdy is fine for when you're in your own country, and you're used to, like, loud and rowdy, because, you know, but I am in somebody else's country, and I always try to be extra careful with being respectful, because again, I'm not from here. I don't want to be fucking up people's stuff. I don't want to make a nuisance of myself. I just kind of want to keep it low key and just chill. Now, the I understand thing, the Ich verstehe, that was one of the German things that I learned on that German learning tape. And the problem is, I don't understand. And it's a part of my brain, because my brain loves to conjugate Japanese with every fucking thing. Like, I have conjugated Japanese and Spanish together. One time when I was living in Alaska, I had said there's some kids were on the shuttle, because I was going to school out there. Some kids were on the shuttle speaking Spanish, and I was like, hable masen, and I was like, wait, hable masen, that's right. And I was like, no, bitch, that's not right. That's Spanish and Japanese. You need to stop. Which is why my father-in-law, unfortunately passed away, but my grandfather-in-law only speaks Spanish. Like, straight. He doesn't speak a lick of English. He only speaks Spanish. So as much as I kind of want to try to learn Spanish, I know my brain likes to conjugate Spanish and Japanese together. I'm about to conjugate Japanese and German together. And I was about to go, Ich verstehe masen, which is, I don't understand, with German and Japanese smushed together, which I need to stop. But last night we went to dinner. The guy had asked us, like, what we wanted to drink, and something about you're not supposed to ask for tap water in Germany. I forget, there's a rationale behind it. I don't remember what the rationale is. So, you're supposed to ask for mineral water. So I was like, Mineralwasser bitte, which is mineral water, please. As far as my language can take me. Dude started talking in German, and I just fucking agreed, and he bought us mineral water, but it was carbonated. Now, post having this surgery, I cannot have stuff with food that is carbonated. Me and my husband will collectively die because the carbonation, expands in your stomach, and then you stuck food on top of that. My husband's like, if you ever have a carbonated beverage while eating, you are definitely throwing up. Like, no lie, you gonna barf. And I just fucking agreed, thinking Ich verstehe. Like, I don't know what he's talking about. he bought us fucking carbonated beverage, and then we had to take it back because, again, we would collectively throw up and probably die if we ate food on top of drinking carbonation. So he was like, I had asked you. I was like, I'm sorry, I didn't understand, but I asked you. I was like, I'm sorry. So no, I don't understand, and I need to learn how to say I don't understand in German. Because I can say wakarimasen, which is I don't understand wakarimasen in Japanese. I can't say anything in German. But again, I'm uncomfortable with speaking German. So, and then again, I don't want to be like the dumbass. But at the same token, I don't want to make assumptions that everybody speaks English. And I feel bad because it's like you should make the effort. If you're in another country that speaks a different language, you should make the effort, because people appreciate it when you make the effort. So I'm gonna have to force myself to make the effort and just ignore the fact that I may or may not have a Russian accent as I speak German to people. Speak bad, sad, broken German to people. So, I don't even know. But we are here. Oh, and this is going on for like 11 minutes. So let me tell you how it was a fucking fiasco to get to Germany, because this has just been kind of on the fiasco side. So my husband and I, we leave out of Tampa, right? Because that's where we live. My husband paid a dickload of money for us to leave out of Tampa to go straight to Frankfurt, and we were leaving Friday night, like 7:45 was when the flight was supposed to be. And we were supposed to get to Frankfurt, like, I think, 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Not even that late. It was supposed to be, like, but early in the morning or something. We were supposed to get to Frankfurt and spend Saturday chillaxing, walking around Frankfurt, seeing what it was talking. And then Sunday, we would drive to Stuttgart. There's a story about that, too. So this is going to be long. I get a text message early in the day, and I'm like running around like an idiot, and it was like, your flight to Frankfurt, blah blah blah, is blah 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 at 7:45. That was all I read. I get to the airport waiting with my sister-in-law because she had to take my husband, that's her brother, my husband's car back home because he didn't want to leave it at the airport for like a month. So we're sitting there. I look at the text message to see what time the flight leaves. It's like, oh, it's delayed. And they sent that bad boy to me damn, my phone. They sent that to me early in the day. And I was like, okay, well, damn, I should have read that and then I wouldn't have had to rush here. Because our flight, I got there at like 3 something. We got to the airport at 3. And my stepson dropped us off so my sister-in-law could take the car back to the house. We waited for a little while, and my husband gets there, and I told him after my sister-in-law leaves, like, we're going to be here for a minute because the flight's delayed. So we're waiting, and they're like, okay. Then I get another message, it's delayed again till like, I think, oh no, it was only one text, it was delayed till from 7:45 to 8:15. We're waiting, and 8:15 comes and goes. It's like 8:30, and they're like, this flight is canceled. I have never had to deal with a canceled flight, thank God, before. I hope I never have to deal with a canceled flight ever again, especially some international shit. Now, here's the fun fact. The flight that left out of there was the only fucking flight leaving out of there, going to Germany. So there was a fiasco. So me and my husband were like, what the hell are we supposed to do? We have no car. We have we have to wait for my stepkid to wake up to come and get us, which I don't even fucking know. And it was raining, because it likes to rain and storm real bad at night. And we were like, what the fuck are we going to do? So we had to call the airline, which I'm not going to say this airline, but I am not amused with this airline at this point. So my husband calls them. He tries to get our flight canceled, or get our flight changed. They're like, your flight isn't canceled. It's just delayed. And he's like, no, the flight's been canceled. I'm standing in line with a bunch of people to talk to the front desk because the flights have been canceled. Well, no, it's not been canceled. It's been delayed. Y'all know when you don't know your own company, when your company cancels a flight. What the hell are we doing? So, fine. He calls, he gets disconnected, calls back. They change his flight, not mine. So he calls them back, gets disconnected after talking to some people explaining the situation again, has to call back. We're on time number 3. Calls, they change his flight again, and not mine again, and he never got the confirmation. And time number 4, he calls back again and was like, y'all keep forgetting to put my wife on there, and and then he gets cut off, and he's like so frustrated at this point, he's ready to like throw his phone on the ground. So I have to get our bags from the bag thing, which I do, and he finally gets through to somebody. They say they changed the flight. They still haven't changed his flight. Or changed my flight. They just changed his. Finally, I'm like, I'll deal with this situation. I call them, and I'm like, I'm sitting in an airport in Tampa, Florida. The flight to Germany has been canceled. It's the only flight. My husband and I are supposed to travel together, but he's talked to several people. They keep changing his flight. They don't change mine. We are supposed to travel together. And I made it real emphatically clear to this woman on the phone that we're supposed to travel together. She does change our flights so that we're together. And my husband didn't realize, but they have some kind of weird ticket on this airline that is the economy class, but it's the light economy class or eco economy class where you have no luggage and you're not allowed to bring luggage. That's the ticket he got for me. I asked this woman, I was like, look, when we do this, now that this flight has been changed and we're traveling together, this isn't like this eco economy nonsense, is it? And that's literally what I asked her. I was like, it's not this eco economy nonsense. She's like, no, it's a full economy trip. You can bring your bags, la-di-da. And I'm like, thank you. So we ended up having to not take a direct flight to Frankfurt, because the only direct flight they had from Frankfurt was we still would have had to lay over. So we just went to Dulles and went from Dulles to Frankfurt. And my husband was like, this was what I call an all that for that moment, where you could have taken a shorter route and you take this long fucking way to get the same fucking outcome. So I was like, yeah, this is like the ultimate in all that for that propositions. So we get to Frankfurt yesterday. We prepay or pay for like borrowing internet service because we can't use our cell phones. Then our internet thing that we paid for doesn't work, and we're all the way in Stuttgart, which is about, I want to say, 2 hours away from Frankfurt Airport. Oh, and we had to take the fucking Autobahn, which that was anxiety fucking city on my half. Alright, y'all. So, the only time I've personally driven the highway, I take technically a highway when I go to music lessons. I take a toll road, but that toll road, the speed limit isn't that bad. It's only 60. Yeah, the max speed is 60, and I don't really go over that speed. Like, I might do 65, but I don't do crazy numbers. The only time I've ever had to take the actual highway that wasn't that toll road was when I was going back and forth to Naples. And that was 75 up and down, and that was how I got comfortable. Actually, taking the toll road got me comfortable to take 75 to go to and from Naples. So, the fucking Autobahn. As you know, there are parts on that bad boy that has no fucking speed limit on it. If my husband was doing what we found out later on was 93 miles per hour, there were people fucking laughing the shit out of him. I don't even want to know what warp goddamn hyperdrive they were driving. Set my anxiety levels to new heights that I did not know. Well, actually, I knew I could reach them, because if I'm like this, and especially if I'm starting to do this is when I'm at my most anxious. When I can't, this is, for whatever reason, this calms me down. But the faster I do it, the more anxious I am. And my skin is kind of a little bit raw from doing that. From my husband driving on the fucking Autobahn. It was not a pleasant experience for one who experiences really intense anxiety at times. It was bad. He was safe, but I didn't like that. And we got to take that joint back. And I was just like, I might have to be drugged. I might have to be heavily fucking sedated to do that again, because I did not like that. It was not a pleasant experience. And this is from a woman who admits to like driving fast. I don't think I could do it. I told my husband, it's like, if we have to move here, because there's a slim probability we'll have to move. I doubt we'll have to move here, but there's a probability we may have to move here. I'm not fucking, no. I'm not driving at all. Even on like the regular streets, people was wilding because like somebody lapped my husband around him because he wasn't going fast enough, and then some dude is trying to park when we were walking around the little town. Somebody was like getting all testy in their car because somebody was trying to park, and it was like, for real? You getting okay? All right, I'm not fucking driving. Fuck that. And then there's signs. I can't read German. My husband was like, "What does this say? What the fuck are you asking me for?" I told his ass before we left. I was like, "Look, if we're in a situation where we have to read some shit, we're fucked because I can't read. I can't read nothing. Like, I understand that the 2 dots over a word make the letter different, and I understand that weird thing that looks like a weird capital B is a double S sound, but I don't know what those things are. I don't know, like, I can't read a sentence. You asked me to read something like ingredients here on this bottle. I can't read none of that. I know it's blurry, but I can't read any of this. Like, I can read it technically, but the German's gonna be all janky and bad. So, I don't even know. I have no clue what he wants me to do. And it's just like, why are you asking me shit? Why are you asking me to read something? And then the street signs, like, they're regular street signs, but there's this one sign that I've seen, and I've seen it in Japan too. It's blue with red around it. I have no earthly damn clue what the fuck that sign is supposed to be. I need to look it up because I'm curious, but I will never drive. If we have to move here, I'm not fucking driving. So, yes, this was long, and I apologize, but I had a lot to say because we just got here and it's been a fiasco. So, and I got 24 hours of sleep. Not 24 hours of sleep. Probably did because I took a nap after my husband went to work and I just woke up like maybe literally probably 26 minutes ago. But that is all I have from, we're just going to say Stuttgart, Germany. For now, I'll probably have more to talk about, but right now, this is all. It was a fiasco getting here. My German sucks, and I don't even know what the fuck is going to happen. So I will see y'all at some point soon, and I will talk to y'all then. All right.